Hey everybody, welcome to Drum Talk TV, a special episode / public service announcement / let's help everybody that we can. First, I want to introduce my guests. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. April Samuels, who's a family member of the show and from Breast Cancer Can Stick It, is in Houston, Texas. James Michael McLester is in Dallas, Texas. And Troy and I are both outnumbered by Texans. Troy is a California boy like I am, and he's in just outside of Nashville. How is everybody? Welcome.
Excellent.
Great. Hey, I want to let our audience know what we're doing. You know, we're doing a couple things, folks. James Michael McLester is a member of the drumming community that we're all a member of, and that most of you are a member of. We realize there's people outside the drumming community watching this, and we really appreciate that. James is going to get an in-depth interview on his career this year on Drum Talk TV. But in the meantime, I want to address a couple of things. James is going through a situation that many other people out there might be facing with now, might have faced in the past, might have to face in the future, whether it's directly or indirectly with a loved one or someone they know or care about. And his particular situation is that he's facing a possible kidney transplant, but he's going to have a procedure done that'll hopefully preclude that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But the other thing I'd like to mention is that James has lived a very, very interesting, courageous life, and I'm in the middle of reading his book here. Beautiful book. Check this book out. Pick this book up if you need any ounce of encouragement, inspiration. It's just a great story.
The name of the book?
What's that?
The name of the book?
The name of the book is Wannabe Rock Star Who Finally Found the Rock. This is a story of trial, faith, and triumph, and it's basically James' story recovering from alcoholism, addiction, and other things. But what James is facing now is really unrelated to that. And I don't know how many people out there are scientists, so I'm just going to break out some scientific facts for you real quick, and then we're going to watch a short video together. Mercury. I don't know how many of you know your table of elements. Rock is our favorite element for most of us, but mercury is the most poisonous element, the most toxic element, the most dangerous element on the table of elements. And I think James is probably around my age, if I remember correctly, and around Troy's age. In fact, James, if you don't mind me asking, do you mind if I ask how old you are? There's a reason for this.
I'm 46 years young.
So we're very close in age. I'm 51, Troy's, and April is a kid. But yeah. I bring that up because many of us around the same age, we had fillings put in our teeth when we were young. And the mercury from those fillings have been found to cause what James is going through. So check out this very interesting, short 2-minute, 41-second video, James's message about what he's going through, and then we're going to show you how you can not only help James in his situation, but remember, what goes around comes around, and we're also going to show you how you can set up a platform to help a loved one as well if they need money for an emergency medical procedure. Check out this beautiful video.
My name is James Michael McLester. In 2001, I was diagnosed with 15% kidney function. Dr. Cowden suspected that the mercury that was still in my fillings was the culprit, and that mercury becomes toxic to your bloodstream. And so now there's a connection between the kidney failure and the mercury that was put in my body at 11 years old. My eyes are getting blurry, and I'm having, like, my legs having sharp pains shooting down my legs, and I'm not paying attention to this stuff.
We didn't know about the world of kidney failure. I know he called me one day and said he was in the shower and the skin on his legs split open. He needed somebody to help him, and he would not listen to me.
I was in denial. I said, no, I have mercury poisoning. I was already in stage 5 kidney failure now. At this point, there's nothing that could be done except emergency dialysis or a transplant. I got to the hospital, people are hooking up tubes to me. The next thing you know, I'm being wheeled down to a basement. The basement's freezing cold, 4 hours on that bed. You couldn't get up. and had to watch that blood flow out of your body, hoping that it came back to you without a blood clot, hoping that you wouldn't die on the machine. What you see, flesh and blood before you, would reveal to you that I'm going to die any day. But I'm going to live and not die. There are over 25 million Americans today afflicted with chronic kidney disease. Many will die while waiting on a kidney transplant. Others will die on a dialysis machine. And with the foundation, I would like to help whether they had hypertension, whether they had diabetes, whether they had mercury poisoning, and offer a 4-step screening process that they could go through, plug them into a network of alternative doctors and dentists, and help them get well and get the freedom that they need.
So, hopefully that video enlightens many of you and opens your mind, opens your radar, opens your heart. And James, tell us a bit more. I mean, where in the stage of what you're going through are you at right now? I know you're on the cusp of having a procedure done close to August 2nd. Is that correct?
That's right. I'm supposed to go to Georgia August 2nd with the medical team that'll be taking some stem cells from my own adipose tissue, the fat tissue of my body. They'll spin it down, multiply it. They'll inject it back into my blood with the hopes that it would regenerate some damaged kidney tissue, which is likened to the mercury that was installed in my teeth. And I want to preface that yes, it has no place in anybody's mouth, but this form is not to make anybody paranoid that has it. There are safe biological dentists that can remove it. If you have kids, grandkids, loved ones, you definitely want to get the word out to them. But yeah, it looks like there's a breakthrough coming soon.
So I want to ask about that, James. Well, two things. First, I want to tell the audience something in case you missed it. If you're against stem cell research or procedures for religious reasons or political reasons, we totally support that. But listen to what James said. These are his own stem cells. So it's like the equivalent of, hey, it's not a skin graft from someone else that we held down on the street. It's like his own skin graft, if you will. So I just want to make sure that's clear. But for people around my age, Troy's age, and others out there that are, I don't know, in their 40s, 50s, and above that do have fillings, are we at risk for the same reasons, James?
Well, without getting all scientific again, it's just that mercury is a culprit and it can disrupt cellular function, to put it simply. If you want to do a deeper study, you can look at the mitochondria, which power every cell and organ system of your body. And the mercury is pretty insidious there. It has an affinity for nerve tissue. So the problem is, unless it's chelated correctly, people can wind up causing more harm. And unless it's removed from their teeth correctly, again, they might swallow the filament. There might be something else there. So you need to make sure you're working with people. That's one of the things the James Michael McLester Foundation would like to do from a preventative standpoint, but walking people through that process also when the time comes.
Awesome. And as we've talked about many times, and as the video explained, you're going through dialysis. There's all sorts of risks there. It's not exactly a fun process. Many of us go, we lay on the table, we donate blood. This is a whole different thing. And we're not only reaching out to people to help fund this, what will hopefully be a cure for James, but this whole process is also to help you learn how this whole process works and helps. Because many of you might be seeing out there, hey, I don't have Drum Talk TV behind me. I don't have April Samuels and breast cancer can stick it behind me. I don't have Troy Luccketta from Tesla behind me. How does this help? Well, the reason this helps is because we all have a story to share. April has set up a foundation for her cause. She's a breast cancer survivor. Troy has a Song for Wellness, which is a cancer support center. There's a whole other interview that, you'll learn all about that. But James has set up a platform where you can donate. I want everybody, briefly starting with James, to please chime in on how you set up a platform where people can donate money so that other people in similar situations, whether it's cancer, whether it's diabetes, whether it's a burn victim, whether it's the same thing James is going through, whatever it is, you can learn from this and set up the same sort of thing. James, can you briefly tell how you got connected with Help, Hope, Live? Sorry, I don't know why it's a tongue twister for me, probably because it's so powerful. Talk about how you got hooked up with that and briefly how you set up your donation platform, please.
It's like I said, hope is my favorite four-letter word, and it truly is, because it keeps people in the impossible situation looking toward the possible. And it all kind of came to me. That's a foundation that's been established for 30 years of themselves for people who need an organ transplant, because in the event the stem cell doesn't fully do what it needs to do, the funds are still there in a charitable trust in the honor of James Michael McLester, so that I can access those funds for the remainder of my life. Many of you musicians understand what it means to be self-employed. It's not like I'm married to a spouse that's on at IBM with some kind of great insurance. Thankfully, Medicare has helped me so much to this point, to the tune of probably $400,000 have been spent on my behalf these last 11 years on kidney dialysis. But on top of that, I've spent $125,000 of my own money that easily could have bought a house or a lot of drum kits, to be honest, just to keep my health, because without your health, as Troy and April will agree, you really don't have much to give. And so that's what it's about. Help Hope Live is not only helping me, but others in catastrophic illnesses who may not have wealthy families or who may not have private insurance. That way those funds can go as a tax-deductible donation to Help Hope Live on my behalf, and then they can be dispersed to me as I need them for the lifetime of a transplant or a recurring stem cell transplant, whatever it may be. Does that clear?
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And I also want to mention, unfortunately, not only are many musicians familiar with being self-employed, but I think many more than that are familiar with being unemployed. And the $125,000 that James has spent doesn't come from old money. This man has worked hard, clawing and scratching like we all have at some point in our life as blue-collar, white-collar workers and weekend warriors, playing in clubs and bars and opening for bigger bands. And, how nice would it be to not have to spend that money and have some sort of trust to help you or a loved one if you're going through this. And April, you had kind of a similar situation. You were faced with something monumental, a life-threatening disease, a life-threatening procedure as well. You even got injured in the aftercare taking of that. How did you briefly set up your foundation, and how has it been helping other people?
Well, mine was a little different. What we're looking to do is we're looking to help other individuals that are going through similar things to what I went through. We really followed in the footsteps of organizations such as Susan G. Komen, and are holding fundraisers throughout the year to help raise money for centers that are doing research to help cure breast cancer, or who are also just trying to make better products so that you don't have to go through such horrible chemotherapies and things like that, and also help people in general with funding if they're unable to afford it. So we put together the Breast Cancer Can Stick It Foundation so that we can help raise money for those people so that they'll have better luck in the future than, like, say, I did or anyone else, or really just to prevent breast cancer as a whole. And, the big platform that we utilized was, social media, the internet, Facebook, our website, and we have a PayPal where we can accept donations through PayPal. There's other great organizations, some other people that we've worked with. We've got a friend who has colon cancer, uses FundMe and things like that, GoFundMe. There's a lot of wonderful ways that you can raise money and different things that you can do. And as Dan, we hold fundraisers every year. We have groups play and we raise money at those events. And we also do webcasts where we're able to raise a lot of money. So those are just some of the ideas of things that we've done.
Right, and April, by the way, April's event in October is the only time I get to wear tight pink pants without my wife yelling at me. I love it. And Troy Luccketta, Troy's on board with us. Many of you may know Troy from the polka quintuplet that he's a part of, which is doing really well at the moment. Troy has a foundation called A Song for Wellness, and not only is Troy going to chime in on how he's been working to set up his platform to help people, but Troy's also going to get the ball rolling on donations, and you'll see the link on your screen where you can donate, help James, help the big picture by helping others. But Troy, tell us about your foundation.
My foundation was formed probably about a year and a half ago through a friend of mine, his wife, who had gotten colon cancer. And my sister had been in the wellness industry for a while. And what happened was he had called me, told me what was going on with his situation with his wife. I had him call my sister because I knew she might be able to provide some information for him, the route that he had chose. And he was going through the organic route and juicing in a real natural path for her. And I didn't know anything about that at the time. And what I learned from that experience, as I understand it, cancer disease cannot survive in an alkaline body. Okay? So also, as I understand it, the National Cancer Institute had posted 1 out of every 2 men, 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer during their lifetime. And I found that to be, I didn't even believe that.
It's staggering.
I really didn't
It's
even believe
alarming.
it. So as I come to find out it was true, and as I started to do data research, and my friend who lost his wife, and as I watched that happen, her sister, Linda, had was trying to help her. I'm trying to help my friend, and her and I came together, and we decided that we were going to put a website together and try to put this information in one place, from alkaline water to plant-based foods to juicing, and see what I could contribute to making, hopefully one day, Song for Wellness be a one-stop shop with all the right information. In the last 5 months, I put everything on hold and decided I had a lot of work to do with things I needed to understand to get my infrastructure together, which I'm in the middle of doing. And over the next 3 to 6 months, I should have that site pretty flushed out. We've got major, big, huge ideas and plans for the site. And with that being said, God willing, and remaining humble through the process and understanding that I still have a lot to learn about what it is I'm doing. So I'm very careful not to make claims about certain things, but I do have a friend of mine. God bless this man. I watched him a little over a year ago, April. He's 2 years into his pancreatic cancer, and he went through chemo, radiation, and I watched this man juice every day, a friend of my sister's, and I would go to his house and see what he was doing, and his hope, and as James was talking about, and his faith was so great that he just persevered and never got any kind of negativity. He was always much more positive, and I don't even know that I could have remained in that situation. And today he is cancer free, and it's just a full blown miracle of God. That's the power of faith, God as we understand Him, love and hope. And as we move forward, and I just met James for the first time last week when we played. I was with April, and we went out and we did some shopping together, and we picked up. I got the whole Tesla band juicing backstage now. It's amazing. And April and I had both went to the Def Leppard concert the other night, and I was talking to some of the guys. They're back there working and juicing, and God bless Vivian. We've got him in our prayers, and we're praying to God for a miracle for him as well. And all I can say is there's a lot of information out there. We're working on putting it together. And I encourage people to check into some other avenues, and I don't discourage chemo, radiation, whatever the fit is for that person and where they need to go, but they need to have other information. I think it's a bridge between the two. We need modern medicine. We need all of these things. We need all of the awareness. So at this point, what I've come to believe and come to find true is the fact of the matter is people are not aware. They do not know. That's why A Song for Wellness was born. We are an awareness site. We're gonna really, again, maximize our potential and hopefully reach that person that might have stage 3, 4, and maybe give them hope to add to whatever it is they're doing with something nutritional wise, because the last thing you want to give a cancer patient is sugar. So when a cancer patient leaves the doctors, and as my friend had said, he says, he left and he said, "Doc, what do I eat?" And the doc's like, "Eat whatever you want." And I don't say that to take anything away from the doctor. I am totally convinced and believe in my heart that he just doesn't understand, and he doesn't know it. A lot of doctors I have talked to don't understand the nutrition cycle value, what pH is and alkalinity and getting your body. It's like a fish tank. If you don't keep that fish tank alkaline, guess what? Those fish are going to die. It's not much different than our bodies, which are comprised of 65 to 70% water. So if we go with all this organic foods, we stay away from the GMOs, the processed foods, all the gluten, all the things that are bad for us that we're putting in our bodies. If we can get to a place where we can turn those numbers around to 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 out of 5, we can do this together. I really believe that, and I don't think we're that far away from it. I just think it's just a world of ignorance, not being disrespectful, because I was ignorant, top of the chain. And as I started to collect information and understand it, I realized that, hey, you know what? I can do a little something with this thing. And I'm meeting some wonderful people. Let's not forget, Dan, who put this together. You put me with James. You put me with April. And I am so humbled by these people. They are so amazing. They are the true heroes in life, and we're supporting their cause. And yes, we are here to hopefully make a difference and raise the money that James needs so we can get him in August 2nd. And I'm going to put up the first donation to make sure we started off with the plane ticket and whatever else he needs, and we can talk about. I'm happy to continue with my donations. This is my church. This is what I live for. This is my purpose in life, and that's why I'm here.
Do you mind, Troy, if I ask how much you're going to get the ball rolling with to kind of encourage people?
I was going to start with $1,000.
Wow.
And let me just say this, okay? It's not a lot for what he needs, okay? But it's not bad, and not everybody can afford it. If you got $20, there's 20 drummers out there. Everybody can give $20, and before you know it, there's a lot of us out there that are going to stick together, and we're going to reach more than just drummers in the community. You are doing a wonderful thing, and you have the outreach. So we're encouraging people to give whatever it is they can. Please, if it's $10 is appreciated. It doesn't matter the amount. It's the heart. It comes from the heart. You do what you can afford that you feel comfortable with, and you know what? August 2nd, he's going in. I already know that. And whatever he falls short of, you can call me back. We'll figure it out. We're going to get him in there. Okay? That's all I know.
Beautiful.
And I know he's got a big God on his side. This is a big world, and I fully believe with my contribution as a kickoff, I really believe that's all it's going to take.
That's beautiful. And folks, I want to encourage you, if there's anything that you can do, it's not only appreciated and loved, but, again, I truly believe I've lived my life that what goes around comes around. That's for the good, the bad, the indifferent. And hopefully you've also learned and been encouraged how you can start some sort of fundraising campaign, some sort of platform. Again, it's Hope, Help, Live. The link is still on the screen where you can not only contribute to James, but you can go there, find out how you can set up a campaign if there's a loved one that needs something set up for them. I also want to let everybody know, James has been dealing with so many physical and health challenges because of this, but he's still a rockin' drummer. I want to drop in a quick video to show how he's not only just fighting the fight, but he's living his life as the man who he is and not letting anything stop him as a musician, as a drummer, as a wonderful guy. This song, coincidentally, is called Miracle, right, James?
Right on. Sure is.
Check this out, everybody. Get a little taste of this. This man goes for dialysis. He's facing stem cell transplant, possible kidney transplant. Check this out. That's James slamming away. You still hear the music, and I have something that I'm going to donate. And after I show James what it is, because he doesn't know about this, after I show James what it is, he'll explain how a donation in kind will help. So hold on, I got it right here. Hold on.
It's this pink pant.
Yeah. Actually, those were donated already.
I just want to come to the gig. Don't leave me out of the loop this year.
I have here a drum. You know what? I gotta put my glasses on. Sorry, everybody. It's the reflection off this. Anyways, I got a drum head here. Let me hold it so the light catches it. That I'm gonna donate. It's a Ricky Rocket drum head, and it's signed by educational drumming genius Bruce Becker. It's signed by Stuart Copeland, Mark Schulman, Nick Menza, Dave Lombardo. I'm debating whether or not to sign it myself. I don't want to devalue this beautiful thing.
May I chime in on this?
Yeah, and John Good, even from DW Drums, who I interviewed last week, signed it for you.
First drum kit. Yes.
If I may say, I know that we had started a drum head as well that you have close to you as well, right?
Actually, we started this May 2013, and there's just no more room. This thing, to give you an idea how powerful this is, folks, this thing was worth $80,000. I apologize, I signed it. It's now worth about $65, but it'll still help out. This is for Troy's Foundation, and it has all the people I just mentioned, and many more. Carmine Appice, Vinny Appice. Oh, sorry, Carmine Appice and Vinny Appice. Don't know what's up with that. But yeah, this is going to Troy when I see him on September 20th.
You mentioned some more names on there, and what I would like to do is this is for James, obviously. So let's that's where it's going.
There's Dean Castronovo from Journey, Simon Wright, who played with Dio, Jimmy DeAnda, good friends with Jimmy. Jimmy was in April's special. Billy Sherwood, guitar player, producer for Yes. Alexi, 11-year-old phenom, Stuart Copeland, Kofi Baker, Ginger's son, the better half of the Baker family. No offense, Ginger. Glenn Sobel, I don't know who Glenn is. Lon Friend,
Alice Cooper.
yeah.
He's awesome.
Lon Friend, esteemed rock and roll journalist.
And you're overboard.
Stanton Moore, Ricky Rocket, Brent Fitz, Zoltan Chaney, Matt Starr.
Can I say one quick thing, Dan?
Only one. No, just kidding, of course.
Let me tell you how cool, and I'm like a baby when it comes to NAMM, but I was out there year before last, went to Ricky's booth, talked to his drums. Seemed like everybody in the Rocket Drum Mafia was following me around. I get up to Ricky. He's got a crowd of people. I take him my book, and I say, man, you were such an influence to me when I was, coming up. And I handed it to him, and he goes, well, you're not giving me that book, are you? And I said, yes, I am. And he goes, well, you're going to sign it first. That's the kind of guy Ricky is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Ricky does travel with his peeps. He's a drumming gangster.
True.
Ricky has such a big heart. Hi, Ricky. How you doing? Ricky, in fact, donated a drum kit to April, that black kit with the pink hardware that you've seen at her Breast Cancer Can Stick It Foundation concerts and playing with Metal Shop. Yeah, good guy, big heart. So you folks can also donate something in kind like that. We're donating this head right there.
Wow.
So hopefully everybody has been encouraged to not only support James and his cause, but also be able to set up their own platforms, their own fundraising campaign for their cause as well.
And they know how to work it. I've seen April's car at House of Blues in the valet where everybody can see it. I've got the T-shirt. I've seen Metal Shop hundreds of times. I've loved Troy ever since Mechanical Resonance. We've done shows back in the day when I was in a band called Solinger. So there's a lot of history underneath this today for sure.
And Troy, I'll give you this head when I see you September 20th.
That head is for James. I think you missed that.
Oh, wow, I did miss that. So this is now being paid forward to James. How beautiful. Cool. Awesome. That's beautiful, Troy.
And I want to say really quickly, because April's so humble, she didn't put any focus on herself. And if you just take 1 minute, April, please, to just share with the public what you've been through and what you've seen in your experience. If you're all right with that.
Thanks, Troy. Sure. Yeah, in 2010, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer and started the Breast Cancer Can Stick It Foundation. It's just been a real blessing. It's odd that something like this could turn into a blessing. It really has been. It's just like things like this that bring people together, where you can see the human spirit. And I can't say enough what both James and Troy said about hope. I mean, I've got that tattooed on my back. That is the thing right there, is hope. So if you're ever going through any kind of, tragedy or trials or anything like that, just keep hope and know that you've got friends out there, and you can build something like this if you need help, and just stick together. So really, thank you guys a lot. Appreciate it. And hey, I got one other thing.
Yeah.
James, you're not going to get off easy from me here either. So I'm not going to do quite what Troy's doing, but we're going to throw $500 at you. So we'll get you a little bit more.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Hey, April, James.
I mean, this whole thing, I'm the only girl here. I'm the only girl here, and so I'm like trying not to cry through this whole thing.
Hey, me too. Hey, I want to thank the three of you so much for joining us. Thank you, April and Troy, for supporting James, and thank you, James, April, and Troy, for enlightening everybody on how they can do something similar for themselves or a loved one. And I want to thank the beautiful drumming community, our drumming brothers and sisters, and other people in the Drum Talk TV audience watching this and supporting it. And I've never ever asked anybody to share a post on Facebook, but I'm going to ask you to please share this video around. This is an important message, not just for James, not just for Troy, not just for April, but for you and anyone you know now or may come in contact with this year, next year, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. There's so much stuff going around. This information will come in handy for you someday at some point in your life. Please use this information. Change lives, save lives, and thank you so much for watching Drum Talk TV. It's not just always about my goofy interviews with our favorite drummers, educators, and makers of drum gear. We do support some charitable causes. This is a big one for us, so thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of what we do. I really appreciate it, everybody.
Hang loose.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you soon. April, James, Troy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you all.
Take care, everybody.